Tonight, the viability of the Bradfield scheme to be assessed.
Queensland to host the AFL Grand Final.
Helping school leavers find work.
And an army boot camp for supercars drivers.
Across Townsville and North Queensland, this is 7 News with Rob Brough and Joanne Desmond.
Good evening. Thanks very much for joining us.
Good evening.
State Government has announced an expert panel to investigate the viability of a Bradfield water scheme. The irrigation plant has been around for decades and has been slated as a solution for drought-stricken Western Queensland.
The Bradfield scheme was first floated almost 90 years ago, and it's been a political football since.
We have to make sure that a Bradfield scheme vision is a real scheme. The only possible way of doing that is to make sure it has a thorough assessment with an expert panel.
With just under 2 months until the election, the state government has announced an expert panel will examine the irrigation plan.
Ross Garno is very highly respected, and I think he's the right choice to head up that panel.
The panel has a year to investigate if it's worth investing billions of dollars of taxpayers' money to revive a decades-old water scheme.
What does it mean to divert inland rivers away from the most precious, special and important natural asset that our state has, the Great Barrier Reef? What would be the impact on that?
That's where the study has to start, carefully looking at the water flows. We're now aware of a changing climate. We have to make sure that we take into account how things are changing.
Some believe it will just be another document to add to a towering pile. However, this report will have 21st century science behind the proposal. But if there's a change of government, the report could be scrapped.
Labor have got a panel and the LNP have got a plan to build the new Bradfield scheme.
But Dr Lynham is confident that won't happen.
Well, that's obviously up to the government, but I have optimistic prospects for next year.
Georgia Simpson, 7 News.
Shadow Assistant Treasurer Andrew Lee has accused a local dental chain of diverting money for workers on JobKeeper into shareholder payments. Mr Lee spoke in federal parliament on Monday and called out the managing director and founder of 1300 Smiles, Daryl Holmes, saying he received $2 million in dividends. The company has rejected the claims and says, as a majority shareholder, Mr Holmes is entitled to benefit from the company's strong financial performance.
Well, they said it would never happen, an AFL Grand Final in the heart of NRL territory. But for the first time in its 123-year history, footy's Holy Grail will be fought over on foreign soil at the Gabba in Brisbane. And that one day in September has also moved to October.
When the AFL boss boarded the plane to the Sunshine State with the Premiership Cup in tow, this announcement didn't come as a surprise.
So the 2020 Toyota AFL Grand Final will be played in Queensland at the Gabba.
It's historic. The first time in 123 years the Grand Final will be held outside Victoria and played under lights.
This is the first Grand Final I will miss since 1982 consecutively.
But in a state embattled in a COVID crisis...
It's horrible. What can we do? It's like losing a child.
It's a bitter blow for Victorians.
Be disappointing miss that, but I guess if there's no crowd, it won't be much. The whole year's just been a disaster.
If it wasn't for that strong health response, this would not have happened. We expect that this will inject over $18 million into the Queensland economy.
And there are hopes it'll kick goals on more than just an economic front.
There are huge opportunities here for legacy of the game, but also to grow AFL across Queensland, especially into regional markets.
And the finals fever will be shared around the state.
Part of that festival will see the Premiership Cup to regional Queensland centres.
The decision ends weeks of uncertainty and speculation and leaves on one thing that will be for sure.
If Brisbane makes the grand final, then good luck having enough tickets for the Brisbane members.
30,000 fans will pack Queensland's G on October 24 when the spotlight shines on the Sunshine State. Hope Wilson, 7 News.
Townsville school leavers will now have access to a new industry training hub aimed at students who don't want to study at university. The centre will help prepare them for a future in trades or business administration.
It's a popular pathway for school leavers, but university isn't for everyone.
University doesn't fit for everyone. Didn't fit for me when I was at school.
Now Year 11 and 12 students in Townsville will have access to a new training hub.
MEGT are really proud today to see the launch of the Industry Training Hub here in Townsville.
It's a fantastic initiative that will see young people know that there is other options out there rather than university.
Townsville was one of just 10 locations across the country to share in $50 million of federal funding, which helped get the hub off the ground.
It's something that we need here. We've always had high youth unemployment. We've had high youth crime. So this is all about creating that circle where people can find that employment.
Options such as trades, such as business administration trainees, etc., and open a lot of pathways for our young kids here in Townsville.
The hub will strengthen partnerships between local schools, industries and employers to make sure students know that vocational education and training can set them up for the future. Georgia Simpson, 7 News.
Well, as if the pandemic hasn't been hard enough, now our vets are bracing for a bad tick season for our pets. They're already seeing animals with paralysis and are urging owners to be vigilant and give their pets some medication to repel the pests before it's too late.
Little Tala has plenty of energy to spare and likes to keep her best friend Finn on his toes. But if a tick latched on without their owners noticing, the consequences could be deadly.
We've had a fair few through the doors already, and we've even had a few that came through in the winter months as well.
Tick bites can shut down major muscle groups and organs by causing paralysis.
So it's something everyone has to stay really vigilant with, because if we can stop them, it's always better than trying to treat them once they've had it on them.
Owners are being urged to check their pets regularly for ticks and pay particular attention to their face and ears.
But it's still really good to check all the time as well. So the best thing you can do is always run your hands over looking for the ticks anywhere where they might be on their dog or cat.
It's particularly important if they've been walking or swimming in places where there's plenty of scrub.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Check with the vet all the time and really check the dog to make sure that he's fine. But, yeah, really aware of it.
Rowan Hughes checks his dog Dieter daily for ticks, having had run-ins with the critters in the past.
Basically give the dog a very close pat down every day.
Danielle Pinto, 7 News.
Supercars drivers have visited Townsville's Laverack Barracks to take part in a military-style workout with the 4th Regiment soldiers. But as it turns out, the drivers are probably better off sticking to their usual style of training.
They're used to carving up the track. But the Penrite racing team was put through a different challenge this morning, participating in a personal training session with Townsville's defence personnel.
Left. Right.
Driver Anton Di Pasquale was fully immersed.
The camaraderie is really cool. You know, they push each other and they always respect each other and wait for each other and things like that. So it's a bit of a competition, but it's all about teamwork.
But teammate David Reynolds took a more relaxed approach.
Left.
And then switch in. I've got some injuries. I've got something wrong with my feet that I'm trying to make amends of it, I suppose, for the weekend so I can go do my job properly.
But according to the commander of the 4th Regiment, the workout wasn't even a challenging one.
We certainly didn't go as hard as we normally would go. I'll say that, but I think that they certainly toughed it out, and it gave them a unique opportunity to see some of the physical requirements that our soldiers have to go through.
Georgia Costi, 7 News.
I bet they enjoyed that. We'll take a break in a moment. A landslide barrier built to protect homes in Walgaroo.
And the 2 unlikely besties that went on the run.
Two brothers, one girl.
How about you move into our place?
This is not going to end well.
What, are you out of your mind? That's the place where Ari's brother lives. The one that you've got the hots for. Hey.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I didn't...
Tane, I just need you to be honest about how you feel.
Home and Away, weeknights at 7 on 7.
There's a glass and a half in everyone.
Days are brighter, weather's getting warmer. Spring is your time to shine. Join Queensland Country Health Fund before October 31 and you could win a $2,000 holiday prize. So spring to it with Queensland Country Health Fund. Imagine more.
At Coles, you can lower the cost of your weekly shop with thousands of specials across the store this week, like half-price bonds and Cadbury chocolate-coated fruit or nut jar. Perfect for Father's Day. Coles, good things, great value.
Muscle and osteopain can really tie you down. That pain is caused by inflammation. Nurofen helps reduce inflammation and relieve osteo and muscle pain for up to 8 hours. Break free with Nurofen.
Still using corded power tools? The time to cut the cord is now. Milwaukee M18 Fuel. All the power you need on one cordless platform. Upgrade now at an authorised Milwaukee retailer. Milwaukee, nothing but heavy duty.
Start your career in Australia's fastest growing industry with Austcare training. Study aged care or disability from only $39. Receive practical manual handling training and we'll organise placement for you. Face-to-face classes available across Queensland. Visit Austcare training today.
Boys!
Watch Sky Racing live, anywhere, now available on Sportsbet.
Townsville turns to 7 News to keep up to date on local issues, and we want you to be a part of it. If there's something happening in your street, your suburb, we want to know about it. Send us a message or drop us an email.
Thanks for joining us here on 7. A $250,000 landslide barrier in Woolgaroo is finally complete after 4 months of construction. The 50-metre wall has been built above homes, which had to be evacuated last year after floodwater caused a landslip.
When the floods hit last year, Woolgaroo resident Kerry Guinea watched as his street was destroyed by a landslide.
We were listening to the water go down the creek and all of a sudden was a noise change, and looked out the window and there's rock and mud and everything all everywhere.
Everyone in Mueller Street had to be evacuated.
It was quite a shock back there in 2019 with all that material coming down the hill.
Townsville City Council has built a barrier to prevent it from happening again, just in time for the wet season.
This is a big improvement, a huge improvement, not only for the 3 or 4 houses that were impacted directly from the landslip, but the massive improvement to stormwater management right across this Mueller Street catchment area.
4,000 tonnes of material was removed from the site to build a platform for the 50-metre wall. It's designed to contain landslips and stop water from reaching houses.
The landfill we took away from there when we cut into it to put the wall in, we've used that in another location, so it hasn't gone to waste. We've used that as fill.
Kerry says he now feels more confident about safety if there was a similar event in the future.
This structure behind us, I'm pretty sure it's not going to let anything past it.
Yasmin Bennell, 7 News.
The LNP has promised to upgrade an intersection in Adalia if it holds the balance of power in October's state election. It's pledging $5 million to put traffic lights at the Stewart Drive and Fairfield Waters Drive roundabout. LNP candidate for Mundingborough, Glenn Doyle, says it will improve traffic flow in the area.
We've got fast food areas, we've got schools, we've got sporting grounds, and unfortunately the dangers that a lot of people experience crossing the road here are unfortunately going to have tragic consequences in the future.
The upgrade would create dozens of local jobs.
Well, here's a lovely little story. A lamb and a kelpie have been reunited with their owners after 2 nights lost in a far north Queensland rainforest. Little Minty and her best mate Rio started their incredible adventure after a backyard escape.
Move over, Thelma and Louise. It's time to meet Minty and Rio.
Who do you think the bad influence was in escaping?
Rio. Yeah. The unlikely pair have caused a fuss after 2 nights on the lamb.
We really thought Rio is smart enough and fit enough and knows what she's doing to get back. So when she wasn't home that first night, it was very strange. We were thinking they were hurt or lost or a croc had taken them.
The lamb and kelpie made their break on Monday morning. They slipped through a hole in the fence at Liz and Conan Hansford's place and wandered off into the wilderness.
We had 5 or 6 quads last night, the night before, up to about 11 o'clock at night, looking through the cane and down the creek. And we had people on horseback out there having a bit of a check.
When hopes were fading, a 4 a.m. wake-up call from a farmer brought good news.
So I said, well, what happened? He goes, the cat was looking out the window. And I was, what the bloody hell is that cat looking at? And look out the window, there's a white thing cruising past. I went out there to look and yelled at the missus, hey, look, there's a bloody lamb out here.
Rio was by her side, keeping a close watch. The pair was safe and well.
Back now. Happily after.
The only thing left to do is fix the fence. Georgia Terry, 7 News.
Sounds like a Disney movie, eh?
It's a 2020 version of The Adventures of Milo and Otis. Remember that one?
Rio and Minty.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
No idea what he's on about. Supercars Championship is heating up, Nate.
1986, Bruffy. Google it. Yes, this weekend's second round in Townsville could be decisive, with Penrite's David Reynolds confident it's still anyone's game. We'll have more on that next, as the Cowboys draw a line in the sand after players are targeted in online bullying.
The cops are having a tough day.
That's gross.
Can he clean up this mess?
It's a long story and most of it's down the side of your car. It's
okay, though.
Well.
Maybe okay.
Well.
So many sticky situations.
You'll be spewing about this.
Highway Patrol, tonight, 7:30 on 7.
Take your dad to the next level this Father's Day at Super Cheap Auto. With these Tool Pro Neon tool cabinets, 30% off. And Castrol Edge 5W30, $35.89.
Vantage Rewards members will have the chance to win a brand new BMW 118i across September at the Ville. Visit the-ville.com.au for promotion details and make sure you're signed up as a member to Townsville's most rewarding club.
Hi, I'm Mark Munger from Ingham Road Seafood. Come in and see us for all your fresh local seafood. When it comes to finding fresh local seafoods, there's only one place to go, Ingham Road Seafood.
Delicious.
Ingham Road Seafood, got to have it now.
Chemist Warehouse are having a massive flash sale. This Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, get an extra 10% off all big brands store-wide. That's right, an extra 10% off store-wide for 3 days only at Chemist Warehouse.
With the school year flying by, it's a great time to brush up on healthy smiles. Cameron & Co. make getting the best out of the child dental benefit schedule as easy as 1, 2, 3. With easy appointments, a department especially for kids, and flexible payment options. We put family dental health at the top of the class. Pop in to see Cameron and the team, or give us a call to find out more.
Welcome to the Jalna Dairy Farm. Today we're going to learn how Jalna pot set yogurt is made. Let's go. We start with fresh milk from our cows. Probably shouldn't do that, boys. Then we pour the milk straight into the pot. Not too close, mate. And we let it set for just the right amount of time to create, thick and creamy, deliciously pure pot set yogurt. Jalna pot set yogurt. If only everything was so pure.
The foods you love.
India. Italy.
And new dishes.
Lebanon.
That'll have you screaming for more.
Venezuela.
I've never had one of those. I'm excited to try it.
Whose food would you choose?
We want to do Lebanon proud. We are strong, just like the cedar tree in our flag.
Dead set, the best I've ever had in my life.
New Plate of Origin, Sunday on 7.
Welcome back to 7 News. Cowboys winger Kyle Feldt has assured fans they're doing everything they can to end the club's 9-game losing streak, with several players victims of online bullying. Overnight, North Queensland released a statement in support of players, which has been backed by rival NRL clubs.
With 2 wins from 14 games, criticism is only expected, but comments have become personal in recent weeks.
Bullying is something that we're trying to nut out of our game, and that I know has taken toll on a lot of players' mental health and that.
It's why the Cowboys took to social media overnight, thanking the fans that have stuck by them, but putting a spotlight on those who have made unkind, hurtful or just plain mean comments.
It goes both ways. You've got to be there with us through thick and thin, and like everything, everyone's there when we're winning and going well, and then there's a lot more people that come out when we're losing, and that's when they decide to say have their opinions and that.
But the Cowboys are refusing to throw in the towel.
We're trying really hard to dig our way out of this hole, and I know it's not pretty coming into training every day knowing that we are sitting at like 9 losses in a row or something at the moment, so it's not enjoyable, but we are trying hard to get out of it.
Felt's one try off the top of the NRL's leaderboard, but even he's his own harshest critic.
I know personally that I haven't been up to standard the whole year.
Another chance to turn the tide beckons on Sunday against the Dragons, who are also in the hands of a caretaker coach.
It's always a big change when you lose a coach. Whoever comes in tries to change a few things, but Dino's been great.
At the Cowboys, Felt's thrown his support behind Todd Payton.
If it does happen, I know I've worked with Toddy in the previous years, and it's good. He's a nice bloke.
Jessica Stewart, 7 News.
Sticking with league, and it will be an all-Townsville affair in next week's Aaron Payne Cup Grand Final, with rivals Kerwin High and Ignatius Park to square off in the NQ decider. Iggy Park survived a nervous semi-final today to win by 8, while the Bears comprehensively beat St Patrick's College.
Iggy Park, beware, the Bears are growling again. After losing their first match of the season last week, Kerwin High were out for redemption in their path, St Patrick's College.
Last week forced us to look really, really carefully at what we were doing and how we were going about it. And, my biggest concern was that the boys didn't lose confidence from last week.
But they regained their try-scoring mojo, up 24-4 at the main break.
I spoke to them about just staying in the grind and things like that, just building some pressure, and hopefully, opportunities would come out of it.
The coach was right, but St Patrick's failed to capitalise. They peppered down their end of the field, but couldn't add to their tally.
A few missed opportunities, a few forward passes and some errors there really cost us, and a quality team like Kerwin, they're going to make you pay.
The Bears added another 14 points to their total, running out 38-4 winners in Townsville.
I'm very proud of the effort they put in. They certainly didn't stop giving up, but Kerwin just a little bit too classy today.
The Bears have advanced to next Wednesday's North Queensland decider.
It's always a privilege and an honour to play in the Aaron Payne Cup final, and there's plenty at stake there. The winner gets to go to a state final.
Jessica Stewart, 7 News.
Penrite driver David Reynolds is hoping to put tyre troubles behind him this weekend in Townsville's second round of Supercars action. After impressing in qualifying, Reynolds struggled to capitalise on his grid position, falling back in all 3 races last weekend due to tyre wear. But he's got a chance at redemption starting Saturday, with Reynolds adamant the Supercars Championship race is still alive.
There's 3 rounds left, 900 points. Obviously, Bathurst is going to be the end of the championship. It's still really anyone's game. Anyone can have a couple of DNFs.
Reynolds moved up from 8th to 7th in the overall standings last weekend. He wasn't happy with that, and he still moved up a spot. Imagine what he can do with a couple of good results this weekend, guys.
Wonderful. Thank you, Nath.
All right, we'll stay with this after the break. Livio has all the weather details for us.
Get ready to witness awesome.
What a way to open the show.
It's gonna take the amazing to make the semi-final.
The best that we have ever had.
Just wait till you see how he survives this.
This is the one my mum didn't want me to try.
And the performance that'll unite the world.
It brings hope. It brings love that we need right now.
America's Got Talent Finals. Tonight, 8:30 on 7.
If you're experiencing abuse or domestic violence, contact 1-800-RESPECT for free, confidential advice and counselling, online and by phone 24/7. There's no place for abuse or domestic violence. Help is here. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Liven up your lunch with Tip Top sandwich thins. They're super soft and light, and each one is only 99 calories, so you can enjoy a softer, lighter lunch. Also available in Tip Top burger thins.
Growing up in Sydney's western suburbs, he was a skinny ethnic kid with crooked teeth and no confidence.
Luckily, I had a caring family dentist. He explained how he could fix my teeth, and he did. Being able to smile with confidence changed my life. It inspired me to become a dentist. I'm Dinesh Singham from Absolutely Dental, and I'd love to help you smile again.
Book your free smile makeover consultation. Call Absolutely Dental. Visit absolutelydental.com.au.
Ned's Same Race Multi, now available on all 3 racing codes. Pump up your odds in any thoroughbred, greyhound or harness race by selecting 2 to 4 runners to finish anywhere inside the top 4. Take it to the Ned's level.
Put more oomph in your bedroom with OMF's More Oomph sale, with up to 55% off selected mattresses, plus for even more oomph, 50 months interest free.
I'm up for more oomph.
And soon at Finder's best rated mattress brand, OMF.
Since 2015, the Queensland Government has delivered $790 million worth of transport infrastructure. Works are being brought forward to help our economy recover. And there is a further $1.5 billion committed, supporting nearly 1,200 jobs in this critical time to keep North Queensland moving in more ways than one, like the Townsville Ring Road, which will improve your travel times. Find out how our projects benefit you. Search Connecting Queensland. Authorised by the Queensland Government, Brisbane.
Good evening, Livio Regano with tonight's weather. So far it's been a gentle transition into spring, no blinding dust storms, and our bushfire situation looks under better control than last year. September's historically our driest month, but the Bureau is still tipping better than average rainfall this season. Top temperatures continue to bounce around in that high 20s ballpark, which is about average for early September. Today's range in Townsville was 15 to 27 degrees. On the satellite loop, a few changes since yesterday. Instead of having most of the cloud concentrated in the tropics, not that it produced much in the way of showers, we're seeing a little bit of a mass forming in the south now. Either way, it's not being very productive, and once again our 24-hour rainfalls have only been in the less than 10 millimetre range and mostly nothing at all. We've seen just a few little light coastal fringe showers which you can barely discern on this enhancement here. So let's go to the chart now and see if that reveals any more info. High is quite slow moving in the Tasman Sea, and it's a fairly simple situation where you've got an anti-clockwise flow around the high, and that's generating southeasterly trade winds that come straight off the ocean, so there's plenty of moisture. It's keeping the nights a lot milder, but it's also making for some coastal cloud and 1 or 2 of those light showers. On tomorrow's chart, it's the same. Nothing really changes along the coast, but you do see an inland trough starting to move slightly east. On the outlook chart, again, it moves a little bit east, that inland trough, but it's not until the weekend that it might pose a threat to the southeast with maybe a storm. And now the latest from the Weather Bureau, the boating forecast for Townsville waters. Easterly winds 15 to 20 knots tomorrow on a 2-metre northeasterly swell outside the reef. Easterlies continuing on Friday. More of an east-southeasterly though for Saturday, 50 to 20 knots. There's a very strong tidal swing at the moment, linked to yesterday's full moon. The next high tide's due later tomorrow morning with an even larger peak at night. Hobart and Lower Burdekin, just a 20% chance of a coastal shower, which is basically nothing. 27 the top for Townsville. Ayr and Ingham also 27. Northern Goldfields and Upper Flinders a fine and sunny day with Charters Towers reaching 28 degrees and Georgetown 33. Looking ahead for Townsville, temperatures waffling around over the next 7 days but staying close to the September average. Any rains unlikely, but we'll see plenty of passing cloud. Tonight's Humble photo is an example of what we call overshooting tops, when rising air bubbles break through a stable layer and suddenly become so buoyant they literally fall upwards, causing huge towers of ice condensation above the base cloud layer. Brought to you by John Kesby from Castaways Beach. Thank you, John. Catch you soon. And now it's back to the team.
Yeah, wonderful, Lou. Thank you very much, mate. Thanks for your company. We'll catch you tomorrow night.
And just a reminder, you can watch a replay of our news on 7plus. And from all of us here, good night.
Good night.